Hello my friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am 22 years old, living in New York City, technically Brooklyn, but New York City, and I'm back after being gone for almost 3 months, more like 2.5, but you know. And I was back in Chicago. I am so happy to be back. Been home a week and my apartment just feels so nice to be here. The past week my roommates haven't been here, so I've had like a week of quiet. I think one's coming back tomorrow, and one next week. We'll see. It's been so nice. Like, I've been enjoying the living room all to myself and the balcony. So it is summer here. It's pretty hot. Our AC is broken, but anyways, it's been super nice to be back, and I love being with my family, but it's nice to have my independence. And yeah, so obviously I want to acknowledge everything that's going on right now with obviously the pandemic and then Black Lives Matter. I'm definitely very passionate about social justice issues. I studied a lot about structural racism and structural injustice because I majored in sociology, so I have been sharing some resources on my Instagram story, but I also don't want to take up space too much from, you know, actually letting Black voices be at the forefront. So yeah, definitely educate yourself, take action, do what you can. Sometimes I know it's hard if you are a white person to feel like you're doing enough. That's something I've been struggling with, but I'm trying to take little steps every day to continue educating myself, signing petitions, following a lot of new Black creators on Instagram, and just having a lot of conversations about these things because I think they're so important, and I will never be able to fully understand the experience of a person of color, but no matter what, I think it's important to empathize and then to make sure that like it's a white issue too. Like, this, you know, is something we have to take upon ourselves and use our privilege for, and fully acknowledge I am extremely privileged. So yeah, just doing a lot of reflecting on that. And then overall I'm just like feeling very content with my life. I am just like so happy in my apartment. I'm so happy like to have good family and friends. I've been really trying to practice a lot of gratitude right now, and I feel like that's helped me with my mental health a lot, and just, I don't know, coping with everything going on. So I feel like the one thing that I've just been trying to work on is with my career stuff. I'm not like super happy with where I'm at in my career, but trying to understand that I did rush into graduating, and I don't regret graduating early because I made that choice for a lot of reasons, particularly like financial, mental health, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do post-grad, so I was like, oh, let me like jump into getting experience, which I did, but I definitely learned pretty quickly that working in marketing is probably not where I want to be, and I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out where I do want to be. So I've been doing a lot of career research, and very grateful for the state of New York for giving me money right now. So I can just like take some time for myself, which I've like never really done like this before, to like not be obligated to do school or career work besides like continuing to like meet qualifications for unemployment. So I've just been doing a lot of research on industries I'd be interested in, what I'm interested in doing. And so I've been thinking about a lot of different areas, but recently I've been thinking a lot about going into publishing maybe. In the last few months I've been doing a lot of writing. I can't remember if I've mentioned that I've been writing on Medium. I might have mentioned it maybe once or twice, but I've been doing that. So follow me on there if you happen to be a Medium subscriber. And that's sort of what I've been up to. But I am talking to an NYU career counselor today. If you don't know, alumni can still use the career center. So I have an appointment this afternoon, which I am excited about. Hopefully she'll be able to help me figure things out, because I just have so many questions right now, but I'm just trying to like accept where I'm at and know that I don't have to have everything figured out. Like, part of your 20s is like trial and error, and in general I'm in like such a fortunate position that I'm like, I don't have to rush into a job. So yeah, it's very weird, and I feel like I'm like not supposed to be like unemployed, but at the same time like everyone is, and I'm still doing some work, just not like full-time work, you know, or like freelance type stuff. But so I guess that's sort of the update. So today my plan is to do some prep for like the career stuff I mentioned, just like a couple things around the house. And then pretty much every day I've been doing some reading and like watching a movie or some YouTube and enjoying my balcony a lot. I just love being on my balcony in nature. I think that's so important right now, and I don't really want to go out and about too much because obviously New York is still not super safe in terms of the pandemic, but I've just been really enjoying that, watching the sunset. So that's sort of the plan for the day. And New York is definitely like feeling a lot better. Things are opening up as of a couple days ago, and the one time I've been out since I've been home, it seems like people were feeling very hopeful. I actually read an article on Medium about this. It definitely feels like the energy in the city is coming back, so that's very promising, even though the pandemic is not over, people, so you still need to wear your mask and like social distance and be safe and all that. Okay, I feel like I've talked a lot, and that's sort of a life update. I'm hoping to vlog more that now that I'm back in New York, but it's sort of weird because there's not that much to vlog, but maybe that's kind of the point, I don't know. So this is just what I've been doing, like getting back into a routine since I've been back here. Also, I decided to put on a jumpsuit today. Most days I am not wearing like real clothes. I just figured since I'm like talking to this career counselor, why not? And it's super comfy because it's like one piece of clothing, so it looks more put together than it is. And I'm hot, so I've been wearing like tank tops and stuff a lot because our AC doesn't work right now, but hopefully someone will be coming by to fix that soon. And sometimes it just feels nice to put on some makeup and put on some clothes and not be a slob. Hopping on my call, waiting for the counselor to call in, and some people should be coming to fix my AC, of course, right at the time I'm supposed to go on this call, but it'll be okay. Call went very well. She was super helpful, and I might make another appointment with her in a few weeks if I feel like I need it, if I have more questions. Of course, the AC guy did show up during the call, but she was very understanding. So I've been trying not to do like too much work every single day to like make sure I don't burn myself out right now, just because I am trying to do a lot of soul searching and just, I don't know, figuring out like where I'm at, not putting too much pressure on myself. And because it is like, I think I've said this before, but it's kind of the first time I haven't like been obligated to like do certain things every single day, because I am not working and not doing school. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do right now. Maybe read a little, watch some YouTube. I think I'm gonna watch a movie maybe later tonight is what I've kind of been up to recently. I do like to watch something when it like, I don't know, gets all cozy at night. So my current plan is that the AC guys just left. They have to come back tomorrow because they are missing a part or need a new part or something. So they're here a while, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't really matter that much to me, but they do really need to fix that AC unit for my roommate, and she might be coming back tomorrow, so hopefully that all works itself out. But now I'm just like cleaning a little, you know, spraying things down, since obviously like are people coming into my space. And I need to pick up a prescription in a little while. They're filling it, and they said it should be filled by 5, and it's like 4:30 or something. So I'm gonna do that. So you guys, like, I'm gonna film a little, just like being out on the street. This will only be the second time that I've gone out. I'm also gonna like, I was cleaning the bathroom a little bit earlier today, and I'm gonna wipe down all the mirrors because I've never done that since I've lived here over a year. I don't know if any of my roommates have or not, but I was noticing because I've been doing some outfit photos in this mirror. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's very, very dirty. So we're gonna clean, and there's actually a ton of mirrors in this apartment. I did not decorate this apartment except for my room. So I'm gonna like try and clean some of them though. Even even though it's pretty hot out, it feels like 80 something, I think. I'm gonna go eat my dinner on the balcony, having some pasta and vegetables, nothing too fancy. But I'm hungry and I didn't spend much time on the balcony today because the guys were in here working, so I like spending the the evening out there when I can because it's so beautiful and I can watch the sunset. It's so hot without the AC, so I'm sorry that I'm like so gross and sweaty, but it is my journal time. I have been trying to implement journaling every single day because of, well, everything going on, but I have this book, which I think it's actually sold out and it's like now on the top bestseller list for like New York Times and everything, but it's Me and White Supremacy by Layla F. Saad, and she is an activist who I've followed before all of this, so I actually bought her book before all of this and am now like actually implementing it. But essentially it's like a 28-day journal program where you reflect on like your own unconscious bias and like how you contribute to white supremacy, so it's like very like eye-opening. But I only just started it, so I'm trying to do that a little bit every day, and also like researching topics that I like need to learn more about, because I have studied a lot of these things from school, but like obviously I don't know everything by any means. We all need to continue educating ourselves. So today I was actually doing a little bit of research on like body politics. I feel like we don't talk enough about that, and it's essentially how politics are inscribed on our bodies. So like you can see my white privilege by looking at me, and you can discriminate against black people by looking at them, and a layer of that is like fat phobia, which is essentially, I was researching it, how like the thin ideal has existed for a long time, but essentially in the US, like a big part of our culture of like the beauty ideal for women and even for men is thinness, and a lot of that has come from the Protestant work ethic and ideals combined with slavery, and so fat composition was used as a way to distinguish, and I'm not saying this well, I'm gonna link some articles down below, but it was an additional way to discriminate against people essentially, and that's where body politics comes in, and fatness is deemed as bad because it is associated with blackness in this country. And I don't know, there's just so many things about diet culture that you can like look up, and I'm sure like I am not an expert by any means, so I will link some stuff, but they're not health benefits proven with diet culture. Like it's just not, it's not right. And definitely anti-blackness is tied to anti-fatness in our culture. So I'm trying to learn more about that because I'm not super well educated on it, because people don't talk about it. It's hard to find resources on it. I was texting my friend and like we're trying to find articles and books on it, but there's not that many, so I'll share some of the ones that I did find, but I still want to like reflect on it and like even just think about it for myself, because I also think capitalism is a big part of that, and obviously slavery goes with capitalism, because we do like as a society buy so many diet books, diet programs, weight loss programs, etc. Like capitalism definitely feeds into it as well, and obviously slavery fed into capitalism, and to this day like those things still remain part of our culture. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so here's a quote from an article that just gets so much more justice than what I just described. Also sorry that the train is loud. The connection between elevating thinness and denigrating blackness is often hidden, but it's not subtle. ... History is inescapable. Here's just one example. To justify human slavery and the racism that followed, it was economically, morally, and politically essential to degrade blackness and uplift whiteness. One way this manifested was using media to portray thinness as a symbol of control, restraint, discipline, grace, and intelligence, and to associate it with whiteness. At the same time, fatness became a symbol of gluttony, laziness, lack of control, and lack of discipline, and was associated with blackness. So essentially the media associated these things, and women were told to be thin, and essentially to have social success meant you had to be thin. So cultivating fat phobia is rooted in American slavery and anti-Black racism. So you wouldn't know it because it's still sunny, but it's actually already 8:30 almost, and the sun has been setting so late and it's beautiful. So my prescription took much longer than anticipated, but I am gonna go pick it up because pharmacy's still open till 9 and I just like want to get it done. It's not like I need it right now, but it's just more annoying. Like I don't know, filling prescriptions is so annoying, and the healthcare system is frustrating, but that's not the point of this video. I already talked so much in it. So anyway, I am gonna go out and then probably come back and watch a movie. You can see I came back and took a shower. I'm always like, I don't know, so gross at the end of the day in the summer in New York because like it's so humid and hot. And then I had my sunscreen on and then I had my mask on, so I was just like, okay. Anyway, when I was out, it felt pretty normal, besides people wearing masks, and I was like slightly annoyed at some of the people who were like clearly not social distancing in terms of like being congregated in groups that were like kind of close together. But besides that, I don't know, there were still like people out on the street, but it wasn't super busy, but like the way I went wouldn't normally be super busy anyway, so it didn't feel too weird, besides just like mask stuff, and like Walgreens like has all these you know, barrier type things. But that's kind of what's up. The streets are definitely not too desolate or anything, but also like for the most part you can be pretty safe out there. And then I come home and like wipe down everything, and I just started a little laundry to wash my mask. Anyway, now I think I'm gonna go and watch The Help, which is on Netflix. I've said this like multiple times on my Insta story. There are some really good resources to watch on Netflix right now, just that are, you know, I think for the most part a lot of them are already there, but Ava DuVernay is one of my absolute favorite directors. She is a, you know, a Black woman, and her film documentary 13th is on there, and then When They See Us, which is about the Central Park 5, is also really informative. Then I'm actually gonna watch The Help, which is kind of long, so we'll see if I finish all of it. But that's really good, which is more historical fiction. I think that's like a really good representation of one side of racism we don't think about, which is kind of the lower level positions that even when like people aren't enslaved, they are still subjugated, kind of, if that makes sense. So I read the book a while ago and watched the movie a while ago, so thought since it's on Netflix I'd re-watch it. And I was just looking on Instagram because I spend way too much time on Instagram, but obviously that's like where so many things are right now. So I saw a photo of like the New York Times bestsellers from someone who's like, you know, a woman of color, and she like wrote a book that all of a sudden is on the list of the New York Times bestsellers, and like the top 15 books that are on the New York Times bestseller list for nonfiction right now are almost all about like understanding racism, which just that gives me hope as someone who's like studied these things, and it's like finally like going mainstream. It's like, yes, like after all this time, it feels like, I mean after 400 years, but you know, just like when I was in school I felt like no one really understood what I was studying, and I'm like, now people kind of do. So I'm glad that it's going mainstream, and that like gives me a lot of hope.